Section 201.52 of the National Electrical Code, or NEC, addresses the placement and spacing of receptacle outlets in dwelling units. Specifically, it mandates that receptacle outlets be installed so that no point along the floor line of any wall space is more than 6 feet, or 1.8 meters, measured horizontally from an outlet in that space. This requirement is designed to ensure that occupants can easily access electrical power without having to rely on extension cords, which can pose safety hazards. The code's intent is to provide convenience and reduce the risk of electrical shock or fire. Regarding whether Section 201.52 applies to unfinished basements, the answer is yes. The 12-foot maximum spacing requirement for receptacles, meaning a receptacle must be placed every 12 feet along a wall, generally applies to all habitable rooms within a dwelling unit. This includes unfinished basements. The NEC defines habitable rooms as those used for living, sleeping, eating, or cooking. While an unfinished basement may not be used as a primary living space, if it is used for any of these purposes, the receptacle spacing requirements of 201.52 are applicable. However, there are exceptions to this rule. If an unfinished basement is used solely for storage purposes, receptacles may not be required. The NEC provides an exception for areas that are not considered habitable spaces and are used exclusively for storage. In such cases, the regular receptacle spacing requirements do not apply. To determine whether the receptacle spacing requirements of 201.52 apply to a specific unfinished basement, it is necessary to consider the intended use of the space. If the basement is used for any purpose other than storage, such as a workshop, recreation room, or even a laundry area, the 12-foot spacing rule applies. In these cases, receptacles must be installed so that no point along the floor line of any wall space is more than 6 feet from a receptacle. This typically means placing receptacles no more than 12 feet apart along the walls. In addition to the wall spacing requirements, the NEC also addresses receptacle placement in relation to countertops and work surfaces. In kitchen and dining areas, receptacles must be installed at each countertop space that is 12 inches or wider. These receptacles must be located no more than 20 inches above the countertop. The purpose of these requirements is to provide convenient access to electrical power for appliances and other devices used on countertops. Furthermore, the NEC requires that at least one receptacle outlet be installed in each bathroom located within 3 feet of the outside edge of each basin. These receptacles must be GFCI protected, or ground fault circuit interrupter protected, to reduce the risk of electric shock in wet environments. GFCI protection is also required for receptacles in other areas where water is present, such as kitchens, laundry rooms, and outdoor locations. When installing receptacles in an unfinished basement, it is important to follow all applicable NEC requirements and local building codes. This includes using the correct type of wiring, grounding the receptacles properly, and ensuring that the circuit is adequately sized for the expected load. It is also important to consider the potential for future use of the basement. If there is a possibility that the basement may be finished in the future, it is advisable to install additional receptacles to meet the requirements of a finished living space. In summary, Section 201.52 of the NEC generally applies to unfinished basements, requiring receptacles to be spaced no more than 12 feet apart along the walls. However, an exception exists for basements used solely for storage purposes. When determining whether the receptacle spacing requirements apply, it is important to consider the intended use of the space and to comply with all applicable codes and regulations. To elaborate further on the specific requirements of 201.52a, it's helpful to break down the key components and consider some practical examples. The primary requirement is the 6-foot rule, which dictates that no point along the floor line of any wall space should be more than 6 feet from a receptacle outlet. This is often interpreted as a 12-foot spacing between receptacles, because if you place the receptacle every 12 feet, any point in the wall will be within 6 feet of one of them. Consider a rectangular unfinished basement that measures 20 feet long and 15 feet wide. To comply with 201.52a, you would need to install at least 2 receptacles along the 20-foot wall and 2 receptacles along the 15-foot wall. This would ensure that no point on any wall is more than 6 feet from a receptacle. The actual placement might be determined by furniture arrangement or other considerations, but the fundamental goal is to provide convenient access to power. There are some nuances to this rule. Wall space is defined as any space 2 feet or more in width, including a space typically occupied by a door, a wardrobe, and similar permanent equipment. This means that even if a section of wall is partially obstructed, it still counts towards the receptacle spacing requirement if it's at least 2 feet wide. One exception to the general rule involves doorways. A doorway is generally not considered wall space that requires a receptacle. However, if a wide doorway is planned, particularly a double door or an archway, it might be prudent to place a receptacle nearby. This could be needed if the intended use of the space changes in the future and the doorway is replaced with a solid wall. Another consideration is the type of receptacle to install. In unfinished basements, it's often wise to install tamper-resistant receptacles, especially if children are present. Tamper-resistant receptacles have internal shutters that prevent the insertion of foreign objects, reducing the risk of electrical shock. GFCI protection is also recommended for all receptacles in unfinished basements, particularly those located near water sources, such as laundry tubs or utility sinks. GFCI receptacles can detect ground faults and quickly interrupt the circuit, preventing serious injury. The NEC also addresses the height at which receptacles should be installed. While there is no specific height requirement for receptacles in unfinished basements, it's generally recommended to install them at a convenient height, typically between 12 and 18 inches above the floor. This makes them easily accessible and reduces the risk of damage from moisture or flooding. Regarding lighting, the NEC requires at least one lighting outlet to be installed in every habitable room, including unfinished basements. This lighting outlet must be controlled by a wall switch located at the entrance to the room. This ensures that occupants can safely enter and exit the basement, even if it's dark. In addition to the general requirements for receptacle spacing and lighting, the NEC also includes specific rules for dedicated circuits. A dedicated circuit is a circuit that serves only one appliance or piece of equipment. Dedicated circuits are often required for large appliances, such as refrigerators, freezers, and washing machines. If you plan to install a refrigerator or freezer in your unfinished basement, you will need to provide a dedicated 20-amp circuit for each appliance. This circuit must be wired with 12-gauge wire and must be protected by a 20-amp circuit breaker. The receptacle for the refrigerator or freezer must be a single receptacle, not a duplex receptacle, to prevent overloading the circuit. Similarly, if you plan to install a washing machine in your unfinished basement, you will need to provide a dedicated 20-amp circuit for the washing machine. This circuit must also be wired with 12-gauge wire and must be protected by a 20-amp circuit breaker. The receptacle for the washing machine must be located within 6 feet of the appliance. When installing electrical wiring in an unfinished basement, it's important to protect the wiring from physical damage. The NEC requires that wiring be installed in conduit or otherwise protected if it's exposed to damage. Conduit is a metal or plastic tubing that encases the wiring and protects it from impact, moisture, and other hazards. There are several types of conduit available, including rigid metal conduit, intermediate metal conduit, electrical metallic tubing, and flexible metal conduit. The type of conduit you choose will depend on the specific application and the level of protection required. For example, rigid metal conduit provides the best protection against physical damage, but it's also the most expensive and difficult to install. Electrical metallic tubing is a lighter and less expensive option, but it's not as strong as rigid metal conduit. In addition to conduit, you can also protect wiring by running it through framing members, such as studs and joists. When running wiring through framing members, you must drill holes that are at least 1.25 inches from the edge of the framing member. This prevents the wiring from being damaged by nails or screws. Another important consideration when wiring an unfinished basement is grounding. Grounding is the process of connecting electrical equipment to the earth, providing a path for fault current to flow back to the source. This helps to protect against electrical shock and fire. The NEC requires that all electrical equipment be grounded, including receptacles, lighting fixtures, and appliances. Grounding can be achieved by connecting the equipment to a grounding electrode, such as a ground rod or metal water pipe. The grounding electrode must be connected to the electrical panel with a grounding conductor. In addition to the general grounding requirements, the NEC also includes specific rules for grounding receptacles. Receptacles must be grounded to the equipment grounding conductor, which is a green or bare wire that runs from the receptacle back to the electrical panel. The equipment grounding conductor provides a path for fault current to flow back to the source, tripping the circuit breaker and preventing electrical shock. When installing receptacles in an unfinished basement, it's important to use the correct type of wire. The NEC specifies the type of wire that must be used for different applications. For example, non-metallic sheath cable, or NM cable, is commonly used for wiring receptacles in residential buildings. NM cable consists of 2 or more insulated conductors enclosed in a non-metallic jacket. The size of the wire you use will depend on the amperage of the circuit. The NEC provides tables that specify the minimum wire size for different circuit amperages. For example, a 15 amp circuit must be wired with at least 14 gauge wire, while a 20 amp circuit must be wired with at least 12 gauge wire. When making electrical connections, it's important to use the correct type of connectors. The NEC requires that all electrical connections be made in approved junction boxes. Junction boxes are metal or plastic boxes that enclose the wiring connections and protect them from damage. There are several types of connectors available for making electrical connections, including wire nuts, crimp connectors, and push-in connectors. Wire nuts are commonly used for connecting 2 or more wires together. Crimp connectors are used for connecting wires to terminals, such as those on receptacles and circuit breakers. Push-in connectors are a newer type of connector that allows you to quickly and easily connect wires without having to twist them together. When working with electricity, it's important to take safety precautions to protect yourself from electrical shock. Always turn off the power to the circuit you're working on before you begin. You can turn off the power by flipping the circuit breaker in the electrical panel to the off position. Before touching any wires, use a voltage tester to make sure that the circuit is energized. A voltage tester is a device that detects the presence of voltage in a circuit. If the voltage tester indicates that there is voltage present, do not touch the wires. Wear rubber gloves and safety glasses when working with electricity. Rubber gloves will protect you from electrical shock, and safety glasses will protect your eyes from flying debris. Do not work on electrical equipment when you're wet or standing in water. Water is a conductor of electricity, and it can increase your risk of electrical shock. If you're not comfortable working with electricity, hire a qualified electrician to do the work for you. Electrical work can be dangerous, and it's important to hire someone who knows what they're doing. In summary, when wiring an unfinished basement, it's important to follow all applicable NEC requirements and local building codes. This includes properly spacing receptacles, protecting wiring from physical damage, grounding electrical equipment, using the correct type of wire and connectors, and taking safety precautions to protect yourself from electrical shock. By following these guidelines, you can ensure that your unfinished basement is wired safely and correctly. Remember to consult the most current edition of the NEC and local building codes for the most up-to-date requirements. Electrical codes can change, and it's essential to stay informed about the latest regulations. Additionally, consider having your electrical work inspected by a qualified electrical inspector to ensure that it meets all applicable codes and standards. A professional inspection can identify potential safety hazards and ensure that your electrical system is functioning properly. In addition to the specific requirements of 201.52a, there are other sections of the NEC that may be relevant to wiring an unfinished basement. For example, Section 210.8 addresses ground fault circuit interrupter protection for personnel. As mentioned earlier, GFCI protection is required for receptacles in certain locations, including bathrooms, kitchens, and outdoor areas. While GFCI protection may not be explicitly required for all receptacles in an unfinished basement, it's often a good idea to install GFCI receptacles, especially in areas where there's a risk of moisture or water exposure. Section 210.12 addresses arc fault circuit interrupter protection for branch circuits. ASICs are designed to protect against fires caused by arcing faults in electrical wiring. ASICs are typically required for branch circuits that serve dwelling units, including bedrooms, living rooms, and dining rooms. While ASICs may not be explicitly required for branch circuits in unfinished basements, some local jurisdictions may require them. Section 314 addresses outlet boxes, conduit bodies, and fittings. This section provides requirements for the installation of outlet boxes, conduit bodies, and fittings, ensuring that they are properly supported and protected. When installing outlet boxes in an unfinished basement, it's important to choose boxes that are suitable for the environment. For example, if the basement is damp or prone to moisture, you should use weatherproof outlet boxes. Section 334 addresses non-metallic sheath cable, which is commonly used for wiring receptacles in residential buildings. This section provides requirements for the installation of NM cable, including how to support and protect the cable. When running NM cable in an unfinished basement, it's important to protect the cable from physical damage. This can be achieved by running the cable through conduit or by securing it to framing members with cable staples. Section 404 addresses switches. This section provides requirements for the installation of switches, including the height at which they should be mounted. While there is no specific height requirement for switches in unfinished basements, it's generally recommended to install them at a convenient height, typically between 44 and 48 inches above the floor. Section 406 addresses receptacles, cord connectors, and attachment plugs. This section provides requirements for the installation of receptacles, cord connectors, and attachment plugs, ensuring that they are properly grounded and protected. When installing receptacles in an unfinished basement, it's important to use tamper-resistant receptacles, especially if children are present. In addition to the NEC, local building codes may also have specific requirements for wiring unfinished basements. It's important to check with your local building department to determine what codes and regulations apply in your area. Local codes may address issues such as permit requirements, inspection procedures, and specific wiring methods. When planning your electrical installation, it's also important to consider the future use of the basement. If you plan to finish the basement in the future, it's a good idea to install additional wiring and receptacles to meet the requirements of a finished living space. This will save you time and money in the long run. For example, you might want to install additional circuits for lighting, appliances, and entertainment equipment. You might also want to install cable television and telephone wiring. By planning ahead, you can ensure that your unfinished basement is ready for future use. Finally, remember that electrical work can be dangerous, and it's important to take safety precautions to protect yourself from electrical shock. Always turn off the power to the circuit you're working on before you begin, and use a voltage tester to make sure that the circuit is de-energized. Wear rubber gloves and safety glasses, and do not work on electrical equipment when you're wet or standing in water. If you're not comfortable working with electricity, hire a qualified electrician to do the work for you.